Alright, so now's the time to decide if you are actually going to attempt to pull this Majin Vegeta when he drops on Saiyan Day, which is tomorrow at the making of this video, or are you gonna sit there and drool over his banner as you look at it, wishing you had enough resources to use for summoning for him as well as saving for the anniversary? Let me know in the comment section below if you're a free-to-play player and if you're going to be spending a certain amount of stones for him, or if you're a light spender, maybe you'll buy the tickets that Global will be selling. He is a 200% leader skill. That was the main topic of discussion when people were talking about whether or not you should actually use your stones to summon for him. Granted, he is a Majin Vegeta and probably the best Majin Vegeta that will be in the game when he does drop, but his uses are actually kind of limited. The thing is he's a 200% leader skill to a category that is pretty underwhelming. So let's take a look at the Gifted Warriors category here. It's not too big. There's not a whole lot of options when it comes to Gifted Warriors. I mean, you have this STR Super Vegeta, which is absolutely still an incredible unit. You have this Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. You have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which after his EZA is a very, very good unit. I mean, you do have some options here, but keep in mind that all these units that are really, really good are summonable units. You know, not everyone's going to have them, especially free-to-play players who have very limited resources when it comes to in-game currency for summoning. You don't have a whole lot of free-to-play options, but someone who is a light spender may have gotten lucky and pulled a bunch of good Gifted Warrior units. We know this guy is getting his EZA. He'll be under that 200% leader skill, but I mean, it all comes down to what units you actually have. Those ones I just pulled up are probably some of the best. This guy is still going to be pretty good under the 200% leader skill. He's still good now. I mean, he's not absolutely mega busted or anything, but he's a very, very solid unit. With how old he is, he's almost 3 years old, still a very solid unit. You've got some options here with Gifted Warriors, but it's not a whole pool of characters that you're just gonna have offhand necessarily. So keep that in mind as you're deciding whether or not you should actually pull for this Majin Vegeta. Looking at this roster of characters right here for Gifted Warriors, let me know in the comments below if you actually think that you could make good use of this 200% leader skill. This unit itself, this Majin Vegeta itself, he's actually pretty good. He's a very defensive unit. My only thing is I've seen some showcases and actually his damage was very unimpressive for a new TUR before he got this part of his active, or this part of his passive activated. So he gets plus an additional attack plus 88% and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type. Intelligence excluded to intelligence key spheres when HP is 88% or less. So that's when he's going to be at the top of his game. This part of his passive doesn't activate until the next turn he comes into battle. It doesn't activate mid-turn. So that's something to keep in mind too as you're trying to decide whether or not you actually want this guy. As good as he is, he does have a few quirks that aren't really that consistent in his kit. And I'll be honest with you guys, when they first come out, if a unit's kit is not as consistent as it could be, that could be a sign that maybe you shouldn't summon for a unit like this. Because what do you look for in a unit when you're actually deciding on whether or not you want to summon? Let me know in the comments below about that, because when I see a new unit come out, I want to see them being all around great units, not something where you have to have specific things. The reason being, I'm a light spender. I don't have every single character, and I'm sure there's a lot of people, not sure, I know there's a lot of people in my same situation. So you have to decide if you want to spend your hard-earned stones on something like this, where you probably won't be able to get his full passive active very often if you don't have a good Trunks in your roster. Once again, you have to get below 88% HP which is not hard, but it's still a type of restriction, a type of quirk that this unit has in order to be at his full potential. He's a very good defensive unit. Right off the start during his showcases, he's almost anywhere between 175k and 225k defense right at the start, which is good with a Trunks on your team. And he gets 30% damage reduction on top of the defense that he has, which is really good. And that's not hard to activate as long as you have a good Trunks on the team that complements this Vegeta. Let's see all the Trunkses that are here. Some good ones that could be actually compatible with this Vegeta. We have this Trunks. He supports hybrid Saiyans though, so probably not him. I mean, you have this Trunks right here. He's not particularly great, but he does support all units. He plus 3 in attack and defense plus 30%. You have that going for him. And then he gets attack and defense plus 70% when there are 2 more Vegeta's family category allies on the team. So that's already synergy with the Vegeta's family leader skill that Vegeta has. The thing is, here's the deal. He's not under the, once again, this is where the problem persists. So you have a unit like this that supports all allies, and he's able to activate his full passive with 2 or more Vegeta's family category allies, but he's not on gifted warrior, so he's not getting that 200% leader skill. So that's something to keep in mind. Then you also have what, this Trunks right here, this free to play 1-2. Let's take a look at that. This Trunks right here, he's really not that great. He's old, he's aged, and his EZA is even aged, but he's also not on gifted warriors. Gifted warriors is going to be all the little kid Trunkses. Let's actually take a look at the youth Trunkses here to see if there's any good ones. I mean, we have this one right here. He causes supreme damage, raises allies attack by 30% for 1 turn. Not that great of a super attack effect right there. He has attack plus 120%. He is on gifted warriors, but his passive needs to include Goten or Krillin attacking in the same turn for him to completely activate his passive. So once again, you're stacking restriction upon restriction. If we take a look at more of these kid Trunkses here, we have this guy right here. This is a free to play kid Trunks, and he raises attack infinitely on both of his super attack. Passive skill is pretty good, except he's a movie hero's kid Trunks. So there's another problem right there. Even though you could activate Vegeta's entrance animation with him, he's going to be working best on a movie hero's team to activate his full passive, and also with a Tapion on the team, which is also a movie hero. And then we have this EZA physical kid Trunks right here. His super attack effect is not bad. He raises attack and defense for 6 turns, but once again, here you go, reduces damage received by 18% and all allies attack and defense plus 18% when there's an ally whose name includes Goten Kid attacking in the same turn, or when Krillin or Android 18 is on the team. He's on Vegeta's family, he's on gifted warriors, he'd get the 200% buff, but once again, his passive needs other people. I don't believe Krillin or Android 18 are on gifted warriors. Goten is. I guess Goten would be on Majin Buu Saga, so he would be buffed by the 200% leader skill. If we take a look at Goten, how many good Gotens do we have? It's pretty much the same situation as Trunks. We don't have very many Goten Kid units or Super Saiyan Goten Kid units either. Very limited selection as far as trying to formulate a team around this Majin Vegeta's leader skill. It's not restricted at the 170%. It's restricted at the gifted warriors part for sure. You need to decide if you will actually be using this Majin Vegeta for his leader skill. If you have the right roster of characters in your character box, you need to decide if he's actually worth summoning for the units that you have on your account. Please consider that. Please consider his whole passive skill, not just one part of it, saying, oh, that part of his passive is absolutely awesome. No, you got to look at the whole thing and figure out if overall he's going to be a unit that you're going to be using on a daily basis. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, bye y'all.